Hey guys, it's Crossroads here. I usually wouldn't be making a video at this time, but man, PayPal dropped a massive bombshell related to AI. And this is not 2023 where they're just saying AI three times to pump the stock. In fact, the stock market is completely asleep on PayPal, but this is massive. Let's take a look at this announcement and the ramifications for PayPal and also the differentiation between PayPal and what they can offer and others as well. This is really exciting. So, Alex Chris had announced and shared this. Here's a little video. Perplexity and PayPal are essentially teaming up. Search, discover, check out trusted answers, Perplexity, trusted transactions, PayPal. Yeah, it's a natural partnership. Really good. PayPal is coming soon to Perplexity. The market doesn't seem to think it's good because PayPal is flat. Pal. It was flat yesterday on an extremely green day. It was flat so far today in the pre-market, and it could be flat all of this here. I don't know. Sometimes the market misses things, and that's our alpha. But why is this such a big deal? Well, let me ask you this: do you think that AI, specifically LLMs and that type of search, is going to increase or decrease over the next 5 years? Increase, obviously, right? Do you think that people will want to do shopping in that natural language setting, having that personal AI agent, as long as it works and it's trusted? Of course. I mean, like, why wouldn't you? There's people more and more that are using these tools for pretty much everything except for commerce. And what was missing specifically was that element of trust. We all know that AI can hallucinate, specifically LLMs. You have to put in a lot of work or build something like Palantir's back end technology as well. But ultimately, it's just not well trusted yet. And here's where PayPal really changes this. PayPal is a trusted platform by many people. And so Perplexity selects PayPal to power agentic commerce. This is the way that basically the future of shopping for a lot of people. Now, there will still all be people that browse on websites, but model context protocol, and we'll talk about that in a minute, and AI agents are absolutely changing the way that people even browse the web. I have a post on this, but look at Cloudflare's earnings. Unrelated, I don't share any shares in that stock, but the CEO was asked because they have about 20% of all in the internet traffic that flows through them. And they're asked, hey, are you seeing any changes? He said, volume, absolutely not. But the way people browse has changed because now AI is browsing the web. And now, where it used to take two web crawls, two hits for somebody to go to Google way back in the day, now it's about 15. And that's accelerating rapidly because AI is using the web now. And there's just not a natural partner for this type of commerce. And so what PayPal is doing essentially here is launching several things all at once. So agentic commerce. This is having a personalized AI agent that PayPal has been developing and building on the back end, along with partnership with Anthropic. That's Claude, the LLM. They have been working on this for actually quite some time, talking about this for a while as well, really accelerating too with the last developer day that they had where they launched and announced a whole bunch of things on the back end too. But in essence, this allows you to go on to Perplexity in the future. And you just say, hey, I'd like a pair of shoes. Well, that's not going to be very good in and of itself if it doesn't know you. But PayPal has your data. They know you. And that's where this comes in. Global reach, expanding Perplexity's commerce tools to PayPal's 430 million active accounts across approximately 200 markets. Now, there are 35 million merchants that are involved in this, but also consumers as well. And so a lot of people trust PayPal. A lot of people recognize PayPal, and they're okay buying through PayPal, especially when it's a PayPal empowered AI agent that's right there that not only has your information as far as once you authorize it, your payments protocol, but also is able to know down to the level of granular detail, like your shoe size, what kind of pants that you like, what you're into, like what you bought recently. It knows all that information unless you've opted out of that data. So if you went on a normal LLM and you say, hey, I'd like to buy some shoes, the best it can do is point you to a website. You'd click and you have to do it yourself. And it may or may not be what you're looking for. With this, conceivably, based on your data, it's like, hey, I want a new pair of shoes. And it'll tell me, hey, Roy, I see you bought, this suede pair of Pumas recently. And I did. I like those shoes. Not expensive, but they're nice. And it'll say, is that what you're looking for? What kind of shoe? And it'll be like, oh, no, no, I want a dress shoe. It's like, okay, well, I see that these are your normal price ranges, and here's actually a deal that I found through Honey integration. Your shoe size is 11. This is with a coupon. It's $33.99. Shipping is free. It'll get there in 2 to 3 business days. It's like, okay, cool. Buy it. And it has the authorization with PayPal to just buy it for you. And it manages a whole lot more than that. So secure transactions, they mentioned this as well. They've really built up the security on the back end. But they say the entire process, including payment, shipping, tracking, and invoicing, will be handled behind the scenes with PayPal's account linking, secure tokenization, tokenized wallet, and emerging passkey checkout flows, which could eliminate the need for passwords and streamline the experience to a single click user query or click. So once you've authorized this, and once it's set up, which is coming soon, you just go in and type on Perplexity and say, hey, I'd like to buy this. And you don't have to go through websites. You don't have to see all the ads. You don't have to like, okay, I need to put in my address. I need to put in my payment type. I need to select the color, the size. It can do all that for you just by you typing into it or text to speech, just talking to it. How amazing is this? Now, how are they able to do this? Now, the biggest danger is hallucinations. That you come in this and all of a sudden you say, hey, you want shoes, and it's like, okay, here's some cheese for you, and it's like, that's not what I'm asking. You finally order the shoes and cheese shows up and you're like, my goodness, this is ridiculous and awful. I'm never going to use this again. Real danger. How do they get around that? This is an announcement that I didn't understand when they announced it, frankly, back on April 2nd, Model Context Protocol. But if you're not familiar with that, MCP is how it's abbreviated. Listen to David Sachs as he was talking to, wasn't the king of Saudi Arabia, but recently in a conference. He breaks it down. And it's new enough. He had to define it too for others. Look at earnings transcripts. This is all over the place. This is growing rapidly. And what MCP is, and PayPal is right here with others, is developed by Anthropic. That's one of the reasons why PayPal really partnered with Anthropic and is using Claude, is simply because AI needed a better way to communicate with APIs and with each other. And rather than just having it be different every single time on each website, they needed a standard protocol. And this is what MCP is really developing, and it is accelerating incredibly fast. And so they launched a product which is invoicing, and that's great. It's one of many AI tools that are yet to come. But in essence, this allows context for those APIs and for the AI when they're making this kind of transaction, so that they understand what's going on and they're not going to send you cheese when you want shoes. Now, this is not a full ontology suite like Palantir, which is very robust and incredible, but it is what is needed to really empower real world commerce. And there's also a certain level of personalization available through PayPal, just because they know you, they know exactly who you are, your information as well, and they can leverage that in the context of those AI agents. Now, how is PayPal differentiated from anybody else here? Well, first, this is the first announcement that I've seen of this type that there's a big market for with AI-empowered commerce. Now, others will follow, but you might say, okay, well, yeah, Shopify is a great company. Surely they're going to launch something like this. And they might, but probably on their Shopify website itself. The danger is they can't really pair it with a Perplexity or with a Google, simply because it's not going to just pull up Shopify. And so that would actually be a headwind rather than a tailwind. Well, what about Stripe? Stripe is incredible, right? It's a great payment processor. Yes, but do they know the consumer? They don't. They're really a payment processor that deals with the merchant, and that's great for Stripe. But they also don't have the trust of the consumer, because most consumers don't really know or think about Stripe in that way. Maybe actually most have never even heard of Stripe or Adyen for that matter. Now, there are others that I think that will launch and do similar deals, but most likely I would say they're probably going to stick with, like, this is the guy, this is the one that we want to stick with, just because of PayPal's global reach. But the others I had in mind were perhaps, American Express, MasterCard, Visa. Now, the challenge for those, and they do have the consumer trust, they do have payment rails there, and they're pretty competent with technology, frankly. I mean, they're good companies. But they don't really have that same global reach as PayPal. PayPal is all over the place, and credit cards, they're growing in Europe. They're elsewhere in the globe, but man, they're mostly here in the United States. And so this just wouldn't have the same kind of kick and reach. And so that makes PayPal a very attractive partner for something like this through Perplexity. So anyway, I don't use Perplexity often, but man, once they launch this, I'm going to have to start doing that. This is a really exciting thing. And I don't know why the stock market is just like, oh, this is a nothing burger. It changes nothing. Guys, this changes everything. And this is just the beginning. This is not PayPal saying, okay, we're done, mission accomplished. Now let's sit back. They continue to develop, they continue to launch, they continue to iterate, and they are ahead of things for once. Under Dan Schulman, under the previous leadership, PayPal tended to be behind and move very slow and glacial. And under Alex Chris, this is not your grandma's PayPal, guys. It's not. You might not believe me, and that's fine. The market might not believe me, and that's fine. Maybe I'm wrong, but man, I don't think so. I don't know when the stock will move, but the company is moving forward. Anyway, thank you guys for watching, commenting, and subscribing. And until next time, happy investing.